Hey, in this video I'm talking about 3 amazing autism relaxation therapies, tips that you can use without having to rely on a smartphone. All that coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to TheAspieWorld. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos on this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd like to see more videos just like this one, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell. And if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to give this page a like and a follow to see more videos just like this one every single week. Okay guys, before we go any further, I love to reach out to you guys on my social media accounts. So if you haven't already, go over to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and Facebook and give me a follow. Reach out, DM me, comment, all that jazz. I love it. I love interacting with you guys, talking to you on there. So please do that. It's pretty awesome. And I do upload content on there too, which is different to on here. So hey, you might learn something new. Okay guys, so let's get on with this video. Now I am a terrible person for looking at my smartphone. My iPhone is like my backbone. I look at this all the time. Every time I want to relax, I'll kind of read a book on my iPhone or I'll watch a video and I feel like that's relaxing, but that is not relaxing, not 100% of the time. When you're looking at screens, you're actually engaging your brain in this constant flicker of screens, and it's not as relaxing as it may seem. You might feel like you're watching a TV show, listen to a podcast, and it's relaxing. In actual fact, your brain is kind of like skimming these images like 1,000 miles an hour, and it's like just keeping your brain really active, especially with somebody with ADHD. Having this to relax is not a relaxation therapy. So my girlfriend said to me, why don't we do some tips and tricks, some hacks so we don't use our iPhones or iPads? It's a no-no when we're trying to relax. I said, okay, fine. So I have listed out the top 3 that I feel are absolutely awesome, and they are the main ones that I use when I don't want any interference, if I want to really relax. Now, why would you want to relax like this? Why would you want to like not use smartphones or tablets and stuff? Because I know everyone likes playing Minecraft and Fortnite on their iPad, right? Right? Because sometimes you really want to disconnect from like digital tech and actually get deep relaxation to calm yourself down. It could be after a meltdown, it could be after a shutdown, it could be after a burnout. All of these things could be a huge issue to you if you don't take care of yourself and if you don't follow them. So I've come up with the 3 best ones that you could use without having a smartphone. Let's get into it. I'm super stoked. Oh, and just a tip guys, if you have anything to add in this video, put it in a comment down below. I read and respond to every single one, so it's never wasted. I love having a conversation with you. You guys are awesome. Thinking differently fam, you're awesome. Thanks for thinking outside the box. Let's get on with the video. Okay guys, so number 1 is reading books and comic books. Now I'm an avid comic book user. Now I figured out this hack actually when I was in university. My first year of university was quite difficult because I never did any A-levels. I finished school with like no GCSE qualifications apart from 2 in IT, and then I kind of went on to college to performing arts and music and stuff that was creative, and I loved it. But when I went back to do science, I had to kind of get up to speed, and it was quite overwhelming. So every day I'd come in with a stack of homework and I'd clear the homework, and then I'd be like, I really want to relax. And then I'd bought these comic books by a really cool graphic comic book designer guy called Guy Delisle. Now Guy Delisle is a graphic novel artist and writer, and he made this comic that I really love called Pyongyang. And I'll try and leave this comic book in a link in the description below if you want to buy it. And it's all about spending time in North Korea, and it's really funny because he's a funny guy and he's a French-Canadian guy. But anyway, I sat down and I was like, okay, I'll read this book for half an hour, and you know, because I'm dyslexic, it takes me a while to read stuff, so when it has more pictures and text, it's way easier to digest. So sat down, reading Guy Delisle's Pyongyang, which I'm looking at right now on my shelf, and yeah, I just kind of really relaxed. I deeply relaxed, and it was the first time I'd felt relaxed the whole time doing this degree. So I was like, whoa. So then I realized, hey, maybe if I'm, you know, getting my mind to focus on reading, it's expanding the mind, but it's also calming the mind because it's calming it with gentle focus. Now, reading is great. Reading expands the mind. Reading, you can educate yourself, because one of the things I love is I love to be constantly learning. If I'm not learning and digesting information, I kind of get a little bit down. I start feeling a bit down. So I was like, I'm gonna learn stuff, but how do I do it without actually having digital tech in my hand all the time? This thing is just like, you know. So reading a book does both those things. You digest information, you learn something, but you also have a way of focusing the mind through some gentle relaxation. Absolutely fantastic. Do it. Like, just do it. And like I said, if you don't like reading actual books, get comic books. These are so good. Or even a picture book. Okay, so number 2 is sensory space. Now, this is an interesting one. I actually have create a space, right? An area, a room, or even just taking time to play with sensory toys. Now, having sensory toys like fidget spinners and sensory gadgets and fidget gadgets and all that kind of stuff, fiber optics, bubble lamps, fish tanks, all that kind of stuff, cool lights like this one behind me. Anything that is sensory pleasing for sensory stimulation will be really good to help relax and calm you. Now, they use a sensory therapy as a therapy to help treat autism, right? They get people into sensory rooms and sensory kind of tents and sensory corners. So what I say to you is, in your room or in your house, maybe make a corner where it's got, like, you know, nice sensory lighting. You can pop up a tent, sit underneath your quilt, get some lights in there, get some sensory toys, some like nice soft blankets, some stuff that is really sensory pleasing, and just do that, because it kind of like interacts with your senses and gets your senses involved in something that's nice and relaxing. But there's no digital tech involved. You don't have to rely on your iPhone for playing, you know, fidget spinner on your iPhone or anything like that, or listening to music. It's all to do with sensory therapy within a certain environment. Like, I know creating a sensory room isn't going to be ideal for everybody, which is why I recommend, like, you could just have sensory toys and play with those, you know, and fidget gadgets for 10 to 15 minutes every day at the end of the day to help you relax. That is also a good way to do it. And I've done this myself, and it's very effective. I actually have a bunch of different sensory toys and stuff like that. And if you check out the description of this video, there's a link for sensory therapy toys, and you can get 15% off by using my link. So definitely check that out. Use that link if you want to buy some fidget gadgets and spinners and stuff like that for dead cheap. And the company's really good as well. They have like the whole catalog of stuff, which is amazing. Okay, so number 3 is animal therapy. Now, I did a video all about animal therapy, and I will leave a link to that in the pinned comment down below and on the end screen of this video, and also in a card above here. Now, animal therapy is fantastic because animals are this loving kind of creature that just wants your attention, but in a nice way. It's rewarding because when you help the creature out, when you help the animal out, they give you love in return, and love is really good. But therapy with an animal is great because it's sensory pleasing. There's no conversation to be had. You don't have to speak to them. There's no social pressure. You don't have to like learn social rules. You don't have to learn any rules other than just make sure that they're comfortable, they're safe, and they're fed, and they're clean, and all those things. Just give them love. That's all animals want. And I love my dog. I have a dog called Randall, who's amazing. He's sleeping right now in his blanket as I'm making this video, and he's just a cool dog. He's like my sidekick. He's my best buddy. We like snuggle up on the sofa, and if I'm feeling like really stressed, Randy comes and sits on me and just like sits on my chest, and he's just such a cool dog. Now, sensory pleasing animals are just every animal I can think of. Everything from birds to rats to snakes to everything. I love all animals, and they're just amazing. And being a vegan, I kind of like have so much more affinity towards animals now than I did when I used to eat meat. But you know, finding somebody who has a pet, even if you don't have one yourself, maybe ask somebody if you could play with their dog for half an hour, take them for a walk, or do something fun with the dogs, because by doing this, you're engaging with an animal, it's therapeutic, and it's so relaxing. And again, you're standing away from digital technology, which is gonna pay you dividends in the long run. Guys, if you like these tips, please share this video on Facebook and Twitter to help somebody else out who may find benefit from these. Also, if you have anything to add, pop it in a comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.